What's going on, gamers? What you see before you is a Japanese Model 1 Sega Mega Drive, which is just the Japanese version of the Sega Genesis. And what I'm going to show you today is a video solution for this thing that was released exclusively in Japan that allows us to have S-video without any modification. Now, the Mega Drive Model 1 and the Genesis Model 1, well, they're all the same thing basically. But by default, this has two video outputs. We won't be counting RF because that fucking sucks. But this has two video outputs by default. Composite video and RGB. RGB is the best that you can get. And composite is okay, but Mega Drive composite video quality is notoriously bad. However, even though RGB is the best you can get, not everyone has a display that's capable of accepting an RGB signal from one of these systems. So, the next best step will be to get S-video. But, as I already mentioned, this thing does not output S-video by default. So, what do? You have to modify it. But, what if you don't want to modify it? Because you're weird like that. And you like to keep your console stock, because who doesn't, right? Now this one is not modified in any way except for the region switch right there. Took out that communications port, which is used for the Mega Modem, and we all know that no one ever used that in any serious capacity. Anyway, so what is one to do if they want S-video but they don't want to mod their system? You just get one of these things. This is a Mega Drive S-video box, as I call it. And this one's made by Santa, and it's called the Mega SL1. And this will work on any Mega Drive Model 1, as well as Master System Model 1. As long as it uses that video output port right there. In fact, I'm just going to put it back on the Mega Drive. There we go. As long as it has that right there, that AV out, you're good to go. Now there's two, major versions of this thing that exist. There's the one right here made by Santa, which is the one I have, of course, and one made by Micomsoft. Micomsoft being the manufacturer of the XRGB line of upscalers. And that one uses the same video chip as the Mega Drive. This one, however, does not. Now, you have four outputs in the back here. One for video and two for audio. I know this looks like a composite video output, but don't be fooled. This is actually an output for mono audio. And you have outputs for left and right audio. How are you supposed to get that from the system, you ask? Even though it outputs mono from the back? Right here. Plug your stereo in right here, and the headphone jack right there. Pretty neat. Of course, you have your SVHS, Super VHS, S-video, Super Video, whatever the hell you want to call it. You get the idea. Now this thing is plug and play. You don't have to do anything special with it. And as long as you have a display capable of accepting a 240p S-video signal, this will work. So all you gotta do is plug it in, and you're off to the races. Pretty cool. Now, even though I did say that this was released exclusively in Japan, it does not exclusively work with Japanese systems. You take Model 1 Sega Genesis over here, and plug it into that one just fine. Besides, both of these are the same anyway underneath, so it's hardly any different. Now the picture quality on this is actually quite good. It is S-video, which is a noticeable step up from composite video, that was on the Mega Drive, and you're going to notice it's going to be a very noticeable increase in video quality. I'm just going to say it that way. It's not quite RGB, but it's much better than composite. I'm going to show you a video recording from a RetroTink 2X Mini. So here's the Mega Drive hooked up to the Mega SL1, which is subsequently hooked up to the RetroTink 2X Mini. Now, because of that, the video won't be as good as I would like it to be, so it's going to look a little blurrier because it's coming out as 480p. That's the top end that I can get, and I don't have anything else that will take S-video and will output it to a higher resolution. So this is what we got. But as you can see, it looks pretty okay. It looks pretty decent, at least right here. There's some things that are going to be exacerbated a little bit because of the nature of how this is working right now, but rest assured, this is a very sharp and clean image. There's a lot of noise in this particular recording, unfortunately, so it doesn't really do it justice. But you can see in the text that it's pretty sharp, relatively speaking, and it's much better than composite video, which I will show you here in a moment. Now here's the composite video signal. One thing you'll notice with the white text is that there is some rainbowing in it. That is known as rainbow banding, and you should see it right about now. There it is, right there. You can see like it's not as white as it is with the S video signal. There's a little bit more rainbowing. Again, that's the rainbow banding. And the reason for this is because the Mega Drive's composite video encoder doesn't do a particularly good job at keeping a clean composite video signal, and everything just sort of gets jammed together, unfortunately. It's good enough for government work, let's put it that way. On top of this, it's of course a little blurry as well. That's just the nature of composite video, you're just going to get it that way. The reason for this is because composite video is one plug. It makes it nice, clean, and simple to actually use. But when it comes to actual video quality, it's a little dirty. And again, it's because everything's being jammed through one plug or one signal wire. With S video, there's two signal wires. You're getting the brightness information in the sync, as well as the color information, being separated out into two signal wires. This allows things to be processed separately, so to speak. I'm using layman's terms here, of course. You're not getting too technical with that. But it allows things to be processed separately, allowing for a cleaner video output. Because there's no interference with everything altogether, which results in sharper video and cleaner video. And of course, RGB, you get basically the same thing, but to a heightened degree. So if you are looking to get a better video signal out of your Mega Drive, do I recommend getting something like this? Maybe. The big reason for that is that getting RGB out of your system and into your display isn't as hard as it used to be. There are a lot more solutions out there now on the market, particularly from RetroTink, such as the RetroTink 2X SCART, which is very good. I love that thing, which allows you to take the native RGB signal from your video game consoles and output it via HDMI at a resolution of a 480p. It's great. I love it. I highly recommend that you do it. Alternatively, if you want something higher quality, then the RetroTink 5X or the OSSC are fantastic options. They're great. I have an OSSC myself, and it's great. The video quality from that is fantastic. Especially from the Mega Drive, PlayStation, and Saturn, they all look amazing. Or if you have an XRGB Mini, then that's also a solution too. Of course, you can also plug this into that because the XRGB Mini has video input as well as the RetroTink 5X. But if you want to keep it cheap, then these can be had for a relatively affordable sum, but sometimes they can go for a lot more. I've seen these go for as high as $100. I think I got this for $30, and no one else bid on it, so I was lucky about that. I got this on Yahoo Auction Japan, and it was sold under the pretense that the owner didn't know if it was working or not. So for all I know, I could have been buying junk, but I struck out. But generally, these are not very cheap. Of course, what you can also do is modify your system yourself. It's not the best video mod on the Mega Drive, Model 1 at least. Isn't exactly a hard mod to do, and I did a bunch of those with my gaggle of Mega Drives when I was like 12. So if a 12-year-old little dumb me can do it, then so can you. But in conclusion, though, this thing is pretty nice. I like it. If you want to get it, go for it. But it's not exactly an essential that you need to enjoy your Mega Drive. I just think it's something that's pretty cool. Anyway, this has been the Spring Onion. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again another time.